Hi everybody, it's Rachel from Sage again. How are you today? This is a mega brand, get ready with me. L'Oreal is the brand that I have chosen to use today. So I've got the L'Oreal Magic Base, which is a wonderful primer. It's still available in Australia, but I'm not sure if it's available elsewhere. I wish they'd bring it back if it's not, because it's fantastic. It's one of those blurring, pore-filling primers, but it doesn't have as much of a silicone feel to me as many of the others do. So I love it. I'm just putting it on here. I have already primed my lids and groomed my brows with a non-L'Oreal product. So the first shadow I'm going in today with is one of the L'Oreal Mono Mattes. This is 01 Unsurpassed. It is my base shade today. These are an oil-based eyeshadow. They're made in Italy. They are absolutely sensational quality. I don't know why a lot more people don't talk about them. And this one is a matte one, a satin matte. So I'm using it as my base shade. You can see it's very, very light and just setting down getting the lid prepared further for the next phase of shadow. I'm just using a Refa 15 brush for that. I'm using the same brush, but the shadow is different this time. It's also a L'Oreal Mono eyeshadow, but this one is not a matte. This one is a shimmer, but it's a very subtle shimmer. It's not sparkly. It's very flattering to the eyelids, especially if you've got creasing. This is a beautiful pink shade, subtle pink shade, and it is called Achiever. They call this the satin finish. It's number 44 in their line. I've loved these single shadows from L'Oreal for a long time, and I honestly don't understand why they're not more hyped. They are a little bit pricey in Australia. They're usually about $14 or $15 each, Australian dollars. But if you get L'Oreal's often discounted at various places like Chemist Warehouse, Priceline. You might be able to pick them up a bit cheaper, but they do have quite a selection of colours. I have a lot of colours, and I love every single one of them. The performance of them is sensational. They're made in Italy, so they're top-notch quality shadows. They do have a scent, I'll just let you know. It is that typical L'Oreal makeup smell. I have no other way to describe it. French makeup. French brands usually are fragranced, I notice. So here I'm going in with my finger just in the centre of the lid to add a little bit more shimmer, and that will attract the light to that area. But you can see that it's an incredibly sheer shade, and that's exactly what I wanted because this is a daytime look. If you can hear my dogs, I apologise. They're just playing out the back here. So I've got one of my favourite foundations here, the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear 24 Hour. This is a long wear foundation, and it is in the shade 140 Golden Beige. Now this is possibly a little too yellow for me. I bought it thinking that it would be my summer shade, but I actually didn't get that much colour in my skin this year at all, which is actually ideal. But this range, this Infallible range, is excellent. And even if you have dry skin, as long as your skin prep is good, you will find that it sits well on your skin and will last. It is superb. It is almost, I find, self-setting. So if you don't want to add powder, then you don't have to. And you'll find that the colour starts to settle down on me as the video progresses. But I'm just using a standard dense, small foundation brush here to put it on. I absolutely love it. I have had other shades. I've had 220 before, which is more of a neutral shade, and I finished that one. So I got this one to try, and I do like it, but I think it's possibly just a shade too warm for me. Nonetheless, I will make it work. I've speeded up the footage here because, you know, watching someone put foundation on is not riveting, I know. One of my favourite eyeliners, it's become a favourite. I have several of these L'Oreal matte signature eyeliners. I've got them in green, black, brown. I think I've got a navy one. And this one is the colour, what is the colour? Burgundy. You might think, what an odd choice to use a burgundy with a soft pink eyeshadow look. Well, I actually wanted a contrast. I wanted the depth of the burgundy without the warmth of the burgundy without necessarily wearing black. What I usually do is wear blue, but anyway. So I'm just putting it on the other eye now and fixing up the wing and making sure that it's even, or as even as I can get it with my textured lid and my twitchy eye situation, which I know I've told you about before, but I love this colour. And these are very long lasting as well. They don't shimmer and they stay on all day. Here I've got a brand new mascara. It is, to me anyway, the L'Oreal Lash Paradise. I've never used this mascara line before. Everyone has talked about it for a long time, I know. But it's new to me, and this is Blackest Black. And on first impression, I have to say it's just a conventional curved sort of a wand, quite long bristles. I have to say it's possibly a bit too natural for me. You know, I like to have quite dramatic mascara. I really like volume and length on my lashes. And this applied nicely and didn't flake or clump or go all over my face, for sure, as you would hope a new mascara wouldn't do. But I had to keep applying and applying and applying to get the look that I'm trying to achieve. Now, if you are a one coat out the door person, I'd say this is a really good everyday mascara for you because it's natural looking. The lashes looked fluffy and separated, but I didn't find I got the volume with just one coat that I was looking for anyway. So I needed to go back in and do that. So now I'm just doing the lower lashes. I found it really easy to use on the lower lashes. Trying to curl them up a bit there. I've sped up the footage because, you know, I like to put like 6 coats of mascara on and not everybody's got the time to watch that. So moving on. Just buffing any creasing that's occurred there. So now I'm going in with L'Oreal Paris Emotions Nude Eyes and Cheek Blushing Palette. I love this. I bought this from Cosmetic Capital last year. Cosmetic Capital is an Australian-based discount website, beauty website. And the shade is Emotions Nude. It's just, what I've done there is I've just dipped my angled blush brush across the palette and taken a range of the shades just to sort of get a sweep. I'm not really, you know, going heavy-handed there. It's just so you can see I'm just doing a light dust. Then I shake the brush off and then I apply the blush, and I like to go pretty high first, and then I come back over the ball of the cheek, is that the right word, and over the nose as well. And because there's some shimmer shades in that palette, I've used that in lieu of a highlighter as well. There's a beautiful pink shimmer in there, a couple of champagnes, one's probably not needed, and a duochrome, and yeah, a bronzier one, but I didn't use those. I used the top half more so than the bottom half of the palette. Yeah, like that. There's that pink shimmer that I'm going in for now to use as a highlighter. I could have used my eyeshadow as well, because, you know, the single shadow that I had, because it's got a beautiful satin effect also. But a great palette, and I think I paid $11 for it. So this is one of the most enormous bronzer pans I've ever come across. The Wild Bronze Glow La Terra Sun Powder Face and Body. That's why it's so big, because you can use it on your shoulders, your décolletage, your back, your arms, to get that instant tan. And it's very long lasting. I find it doesn't tend to rub off on clothes too much. Now the shade I've got is 01 Light Bronze, and this one doesn't seem to have a fragrance as much as some of the other L'Oreal products. Certainly the Emotions Nude palette is very fragranced, but you know, I find it quite a pleasant fragrance. Some people may not. Beautiful shade, L'Oreal. Look, you may not like the brand for whatever reason, but honestly, I rarely find their quality to be anything other than good to great, no matter what product I'm using. So as far as that goes, it's a mega brand. I know they own a lot of other smaller brands. They are the biggest beauty brand in the world, but, you know, there's no denying that they make good stuff. I've decided to line the lower lash line and blend the wing liner a little bit, the liquid liner a little bit out, and sort of add a bit more definition to the outer V. So I've gone in with a shade in the Emotions Nude palette, and the main shade was called Number 10 Inspired, and then I also dipped into Number 9 Jealous, and I think I dipped into 15 Joyful as well, all matte shades, and they're in the lower half of the palette. I'm using a Refa flat brush. Let me just see which one I used. Just grab it here from my 28, the Refa 28 there. Just softening the line, adding a bit more impact on the lower lash line, and buffing out the outer V. And not too worried about, you know, shades blending together. That's actually what I wanted to happen. I've also gone in there with number 11 Relaxed and number 12 Free. Just doing a little bit of buffing and blending to make sure there's no harsh lines, but you can see that extra colour has given a little bit more depth and dimension, which is exactly what I wanted. A beautiful lipstick. They make glorious lipsticks in amazing packaging that looks high-end. This is the shade J Lowe's. I think this might have been a limited edition shade, but I'm sure you can find one very similar. It's quite a sheer pinky nude, not nudie pink. It's pinky nude. So more pink than brown. And it's number 645. Now, this would be a marvelous bridal shade. So here's the finished look. I've done my hair. I was going off to a festival this day, so I changed my top. You can see why I went with the pink colour scheme. Have a wonderful day, and thank you so much for watching as always. Please like, subscribe and comment. Bye for now.